Hey everyone, thought I'd do a video, and today I'm going to be showing you what's in my Z palette. So I've been kind of getting a little bit overwhelmed with how much palettes I have in my collection, so I kind of wanted to depot them a little bit more, just because not everything in each palette is my favorite. So because of that, I kind of used up a few of these palettes as well. Or not palettes, but like the products in the palettes. I used up some of them, and then I depotted the ones that I liked, and then I'm probably gonna declutter the rest of the palette and possibly give it to somebody else so that the product inside will be used. But anyways, this is what my Z palette looks like. It is from the actual Z palette brand. So mine is the cheetah print. I used to have two Z palettes, but then I gave one away just because I haven't been using it as much. This was almost completely empty when I started filling it back up. So this is what it looks like. This guy right here is kind of hard to, let's go like that to keep it. I don't have a magnet at the bottom of this guy or this guy, but this guy has a little bit of glue at the bottom, so because of that it sticks. This one doesn't stick at all, so I usually just like push one of the other products down, just because this product is almost completely used up. So because of that, pretty soon I won't be needing that. So because of that, I didn't put anything at the bottom. This one has glue at the bottom, so I didn't really feel the need to put a magnet at the bottom. So this is kind of what it looks like. I'll just kind of go through it. I'll start off with the blushes, which are over here. So over here, the top row here is from the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop collection that they did with Becca. So these are the three blushes from there. This one right here, trying to remember the names. I remember this one's Amaretto, and I think this one's Pamplemousse. This one I think is called Rosé Spritz. I could be wrong. Rosé Spritz. I have the palettes over here as well. I'll show you what they look like after. And then down here, this one is another Becca palette. This one is, what's it called? The Apres Ski Glow face palette. I could possibly be mispronouncing that, but that's kind of what that guy looks like. This one's called Winterberry. And then this blush down here is a Tarte blush. This one's in the shade Paarty. It doesn't have the design on it anymore because when I was depotting it, it kind of cracked. So because of that, that's what it looks like now. It's still pretty good. Lost a little bit of product when I was repressing, but not a whole big deal because it is still fairly pigmented. I used it recently, so it's still good. Down here, this one's another one from the Apres Ski Glow. Like I said, I could be mispronouncing that, but this one is in the shade, this one's a bronzer in the shade Bronze Bondi or Bondi Bronze. It's one or the other, but that's what it looks like right there. It has some pan in it. Amaretto also has some pan in it, so that's the only bronzer that I depotted. Over here, these are all highlights. So this guy right here, this one is from the Becca Champagne Pop collection as well. This one is Prosecco Pop because I have already used up Champagne Pop. And then over here, this one's another Apres Ski Glow. This one I think is called Rose Quartz, I believe. And I'm almost done using it up. So that's kind of what it looks like. I had to repress this one and this one because this one was on the edges. This one as well. They were along the edges so much that it was hard to get the product. So I thought I would repress it and see how it works. So far this one has been working very well. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm hopeful for it because it's a similar formula, if not the same formula. I think it's the same formula. But both of them look really nice in there. And I should be able to use those up fairly quickly, hopefully. And then these two right here are from the same palette, and it's from TheBalm. I believe one of them, I think this one at the top is Mary Luminizer, and then this one is, I think it was Penny Luminizer. Yes, it is. So that one should be Penny Luminizer. Those are my two favorites from the palette that I got. That one's the Luminizer squad. So that's just kind of what my Z palette looks like right now. And I want to try to use up more of these products. I have been getting a little bit more use out of these products because they've been in this little container, or I guess not container, palette. So I've been really enjoying that so far. And then also another thing too, I have like very, very small like palettes that I made, like little Z palettes, like basically a magnetic palette that I created so that if I wanted to have like a little mini version to make it a little bit easier for myself, then I could, and that's really good for travel. So in case I need any of these, I could just pick them and put them in a little mini palette so that I can take it with me somewhere if I only want to take a few of them and not this entire palette, because this one's the large. So the last thing that I will show you is the palettes themselves that I took them out of. The first one that I'll show you is the Becca Champagne Pop palette. This is what it looks like, and they are all depotted. So I even depotted the Champagne Pop pan. That way, in case I ever want to use it, then I can. And the rest of them, obviously, the 3 blushes and the Prosecco Pop have all been depotted. So I really like the packaging, and part of me kind of wants to keep it just because it's really nice packaging. But the whole point of this is to kind of declutter it. But there's like this little area right here, and I just kind of stuck my fingers and like tools down there so that I could open it up, and that's kind of what it looks like. I kind of burnt it to like a crisp, trying to get the pans out, and I was also trying to salvage the packaging as much as I could. Kind of worked out. Doesn't look too bad, but like the under part of it obviously looks pretty bad. So that's kind of what that looks like. Thought I would show you guys that, but you can get underneath there and you know, kind of, you know, get it out and everything like that. Do be careful if you do use the same method as I did, which I basically just got a candle and kind of held it over it a little bit and then eventually just kind of popped it out. So do be careful if you do decide to do that, because if you're not careful, what I did was I basically just held it over, and then when I was trying to pop it out, I would blow out the candle so that I wouldn't have any mishaps or anything like that. And then I just kept doing that until I got all the pans out. So that's what that guy looks like. The next one is going to be the other Becca palette. This one is the Apres Ski Glow Face Palette. So this is what it says on the back. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So that's just kind of what that looks like. It's really pretty, and it only has 2 products left over. So the products that I depotted, one of them was the blush. Was it right? It was over here somewhere. There was a blush over here somewhere. Opal I used all up. And then I have these 2 left, which is Blush Copper and Icicle. So I haven't been using this palette a whole lot. I do like the products in here, but these ones here aren't really my favorite. I want to use them up, but I don't see myself doing that. So this is the last palette that I'll show you. This is TheBalm, the Luminizer Squad. So this is what it looks like. I just kind of like went underneath and pried it out. I was trying my best to do the dental floss, or like the thread, what's it called? The thread method or the dental floss method. So like I would put thread around the side, and I tried to like go underneath, but it wouldn't work like that because the glue in here is very, very strong. So because of that, I had to go underneath and just kind of like pry it out. I tried my best to like make the packaging not look as weird. So like I said, I got out Mary Luminizer and Penny Luminizer. These 2 are also very pretty, but I also don't know how much use I would get out of them, because I've never really used like lavender color before, and I don't feel like I would use it a whole lot. And then pinks, I feel like it would look too much like a blush, and I have blushes that I like more. So because of that, I just don't need those 2. I figure somebody else could get some use out of it. It is a very gorgeous palette though. Like, that is just like such pretty packaging, and it just looks so amazing. And I'm kind of sad that I kind of deformed these palettes. But also, like I said, I'm trying to get more use out of them. I feel like even though the palettes are also pretty and gorgeous and the products are amazing, I feel like I'm not getting the maximum amount of usage I am out of these products. So that's just kind of the reason why I did what I did. And now I get them all in a nice palette. So because of that, I can use them all at once and just be satisfied with my usage. And then whenever I use up a product, I don't have to worry about this big bulky packaging and trying to use up everything in there right away, so that I'm not just like taking up a whole bunch of space. Instead, I could just take the little pan out that's empty, you know, and then I could put something else in its place. So that's kind of just my motivation there. On that. And then I can also, like I said, it's easier for travel and everything. Rather than bringing a huge bulky palette, I could take it out of this palette and put it into something smaller. So anyways, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one.